So it's pretty clear that all leaders today, no matter what context you're operating in, you're going to be challenged to reinvent yourself, and probably a few different times in your career. The question is how to do it, and how to do it in a pretty fast-paced environment in which a lot of pressure is on to continue to deliver as you learn. In my research, I've found that there's 3 different tools or levers that you really have at your disposal. One of them is redefining your job so that you can make it more of a platform for learning. You know, we spend all our time at our jobs. We are what we do, and so it's impossible to reinvent yourself without reinventing what you do day in and day out. The flip side of that is extending your network beyond the immediate things that you've learned how to do and already know how to do, beyond the walls of your organization and your discipline, your area of functional expertise. And so the second tool that you have is extending your network, reaching out to people who do new and different things, getting involved in different groups, networking outside the walls. And the third tool I call being more playful with your sense of self, because to reinvent yourself, you have to do more than adopt a new skill set. You really have to challenge the way you think, the way you do things, what comes habitually, and that's not comfortable for anybody. In fact, it threatens our sense of authenticity to reinvent ourselves. And so if you don't take a playful approach, which is to say, I know I've got to change to be more effective. I don't know what it's going to look like, but let me try some things and see what I learn and see how I figure it out, and I'll adapt and improvise as I go along, and that's really the best way of going about it. So a lot of people would say that you are who you are, and there's not much you can do about it. And in fact, the whole idea of strengths-based leadership is know what your strengths are, play to them, and just build on that rather than trying to learn things you don't know how to do already. That's a recipe for obsolescence. That's a recipe for just, risk and destruction. We cannot survive without learning to do new things. And then the question is how to go about it. Now, it's not true that people don't change. Look at people look at somebody like Bill Gates, who led that organization from a startup into a huge multinational conglomerate. Was that the same Bill Gates from the beginning through to the end? In some ways, yes, and in some ways, no. We continuously change and adapt, but we can't do it if we're always in the same kind of jobs, in the same kind of organizations, hanging around with the same kind of people. What helps us grow and change and reinvent is exposure to new situations, to new tasks, to new people.